Okay, sit yourself onto the lift. Just come into a good cross-legged position. And just have a little wriggle about until you feel like you are level. So if you've got a cushion like this, it's like a prayer cushion, and it, it kind of moulds to you. Otherwise, you might need to just move the buttock flesh out to the side. Just feel that there is genuine levelness at the seat bones, and then hold on to your knees. Hold on to your knees, elevate the heart area up to the ceiling, and draw your shoulders away from your ears. Look down at the floor, look at something that isn't moving. Listen to the sound of the breath. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Feeling that the chest opens and accommodates the inhalation, and relaxes and accommodates the exhalation. Release your knees, bring your hands into Namaste, press the palms firmly together. Lengthen your armpits into your elbows. Lengthen the elbows in towards each other so that the heels of the hands firmly connect. And then lengthen the fingers away from the heels of the hands. And with an exhalation, allow your eyes to gently close. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Feel that the in-breath fills the lungs from the bottom to the top, expanding the chest and relaxing the chest with the out-breath. Lengthen the chin forwards and down to make contact with the chest. Make contact with the chest. Just spend a moment or two to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area, and then release the backs of the hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Hold on to your knees and elevate the heart area up to the ceiling, drawing your shoulders away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side, drawing your abdomen across, your ribs and your shoulders. Push the outside edge of the right foot into the floor and draw the abdomen away from that right foot. Draw the abdomen from the left to the right, feeling that the seat bones maintain their levelness. And then come back to the centre. Hold onto your knees, elevate the heart area up to the ceiling. Again, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears so you lengthen out the spine, lengthen out the neck. Take a deep inhalation. And with the exhalation, turn to the left. Feel how the left foot connects to the ground. And draw your abdomen away from it. Draw the abdomen from the right to the left. Use each subsequent inhalation to energize the pose. Use each exhalation to turn a little more deeply. So turning from the shoulders, not the neck. Turning the shoulders and the ribs and the abdomen. And then gently come back to the centre. Come off your lift and then sit yourself back onto your heels. Have the big toes together and the knees apart. And then wriggle into your inner heels. Push the shins into the floor. Push the shins into the floor so that you activate the thighs. From activating the thighs, lift up into the spine, elevating the heart area upwards, and then keep elevating the heart area upwards as you come forwards. Keep the front chest lifted, keep the head lifted initially. Spreading the palms, maintaining the connection between the seat bones and the heels, and then finally bring the forehead down. Feel how the body can consciously stretch out. Feel the armpit chest extend and lengthen. Work to keep the seat bones down on the heels, lengthening the sacrum down to the tailbone down to the heels. Just enjoying that sensation of extension. Come up onto your knees, have your hands as wide apart as the mat, have your feet as wide apart as the mat, and then come up into dog down. Straighten the legs, tighten the kneecaps, press the fronts of the thighs into the thigh bone. Press the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Lift the fronts of the thighs up towards the top of the leg. Lift the seat bones. Lift the tailbone. Keep your arms straight. Press the palms into the floor and breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Keep your hands where they are, keep your feet where they are, and swing the hips forwards. Come into dog, up. Have the crease of the elbows facing the front. Stay on the tiptoes, keep the legs away from the floor. Push into the heels. Push consciously into the heels, and then lengthen the abdomen towards the diaphragm, towards the collarbone, towards the chin. So really work into the heels. Lengthen the abdomen away from the legs. And then come back up into dog down. Maintaining the straightness of your legs if you can. Okay, and step your feet forwards, come up into standing position, and then bring the blocks underneath your hands. Bring your feet as wide apart as the mat. Just make sure that your toes are in line with each other. So look down, make sure that your toes are in line with each other, and that the heels are in line with the little toes, lining up with the edge of the mat. Spread the toes, stamp the big toe into the floor, stretch out into the little toe side of the foot. Make sure that the heels are touching the edge of the mat. So feel that the heel is touching the edge of the mat. Have your hands on your hips, lift the abdomen up to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, and wing the elbows towards each other behind you. Keep the legs straight, tightened at the kneecaps. Keep the head lifted as you hinge at the hips. And then when you're halfway down, reach down to the blocks. Have them underneath your shoulders. So you're not reaching forwards. You've got the blocks directly underneath your shoulders. Adjust them if they're not in the right place. Feel that the legs are fully engaged. Lift the kneecap, lift the front of the thigh up to the top of the leg. Turn the fronts of the legs consciously inwards. The more you activate the legs, the more you can lift the seat bones away from the backs of the thighs, the more you can lift the tailbone to the ceiling. And then the more you can consciously extend into the chest. So feel where your body is today. Feel how pose feels for you this morning. Keep the kneecaps tight and keep observing the action of the legs. Stay on the high lift just to get used to the pose. And then perhaps you can go down lower, but know what the high pose feels like before you go into the lower stages. If you've got a bad back, stay at the higher lift unless you feel like your back will cope. So know your back and don't push it. Don't push it because the ego wants it. Feel that the body has capacity and don't go beyond that capacity. Keep filling the lungs from the bottom to the top. Emptying the lungs from the top to the bottom. Projecting the chin and the chest really fiercely forwards away from the legs. Hitting the legs towards the back of the room. The spine extending away consciously from the hips. Almost like the armpits want to leave the hips behind. Keep the shoulders down, away from your ears. If you can reach around the backs of your heels, then do. But again, just being conscious of your back, listening to your body. listening to what your body is telling you it is capable of today. So the ego always wants to go further than the physical body is able. So recognize the difference between wanting to go more deeply into the pose and doing it. Okay, release the hands if you're holding onto your heels. Just come into the parsvottanasana stage again, and then bring your hands into your hips. Bend your knees on the way up if you need to, and come up into tadasana. Come back up into a standing pose. Have the inner edge of the feet together, big toes touching, and your heels touching, and elevate the heart area up to the ceiling. Just listen to the breath. Listen to how the body has changed just through those limbering poses. Bring your arms out nice and wide in toward your chest, and then step or jump your feet nice and wide. Turn the left toes in, the right leg and foot all the way out. And then just notice that you probably want to kind of come around like this a little. Keep the hips facing the front. So you have to turn the legs outwards. Keep the hips facing the front and lift out of the hips into the chest, into the heart area. Keep the legs dead straight, especially that back leg, and then reach down. Find the shin. Turn the abdomen and the chest up to face the ceiling. Reach up, look up if you can. Feel that your body is in alignment. That the front leg buttock bone is in line with the heel of the front leg. That the back leg is trying to push towards the wall behind you. Breathe in and out through the nose and observe how the sinus is clear. Release on the right side. Keep the legs working determinedly. Keep lifting the slab of thigh muscle up towards the hip. Keep turning that thigh muscle from the big toe to the little toe side. Keep the calf hugging the thigh bone. Have a quick look down. Is your head over your foot? If it's not, then lift the chest a little more. Squeeze the front leg buttock bone forwards a little more. Hit the back leg towards the wall behind you. And then look back up. Reach up with the top hand, come back to the center, and then just swap the feet around. Turn the right toes in, the left leg and foot all the way out. Just have a quick check for the foot alignment. Make sure that the heel of the front leg is in line with the instep of the back, or the toes if you've got stiff hips, or even beyond if you've got stiff hips. But never heel on heel. Turn the fronts of the thighs outwards. The fronts of the thighs rotate outwards away from each other. And then keeping both legs straight, especially that front leg. Find the shin. Keep turning the chest and the abdomen up to the ceiling. Feel that the front leg buttock bone is in line with the hip. Keep pushing that back leg to the wall behind you. So it's as much about opening the hips as it is about getting the legs to straighten. Breathe in and out through the nose. Just have a look down to see that foot. Is your head over the foot? If it's not, then correct it until it is. And then reach up, come back to the center, bring the feet parallel, and then step or jump your feet back together, come back into Tadasana. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate breaths. So we're going to do parsvottanasana. So you can either use a chair for this. In fact, let's all use the chair. So get yourself a chair and then put the chair at the back end of the mat and then stand away from it at the other end of the mat. So the chair is going to give us something that we can, it's going to give us additional height. If you haven't got a chair, then use some blocks. But I want you to stay relatively high to start off with anyway. So face the chair and then turn the left toes out and then step forwards with the right leg. So step forwards nice and wide with that right leg. Have your hands on your hips. And for this pose, rather than trikonasana legs, where you turn the legs outwards, which instantly makes you turn the hips to kind of face the side of the room, I want you to turn the legs inwards like you're doing Tadasana, so that your hips come level. Keep that back leg really firm. Have your hands on your hips, lift the chest, wing the elbows towards each other, and then come forwards, hinging at the hips, keeping both legs straight, especially that back leg, especially the front leg. Bring your hands onto the seat of the chair. So at this stage, just feel, are your hips level? Is this back leg hip higher than and further back than the front leg hip? So bring the hips so that the hip girdle is in line with the seat of the chair. Press the fingertips into the chair and lift up into the chest, and then just slide your hands towards the back edge of the chair. But be on fingertips preferably, and lift up into the chest. So keep that back leg really firm. If you want, you can slide your hands down the seat, down the legs of the chair, but never losing that extension of the spine. And then find the floor if you can. Keep turning the fronts of the legs inwards. Keep the back leg dead straight. Keep that front leg dead straight. Tightening the kneecaps on both legs. Keep projecting the chin and the chest forwards. If you can, just start to walk your hands towards the back leg. But just stay where the pose is possible. So stay high, using the chair if necessary. Walking the hands back, keeping the head lifted, but we're ultimately driving the chest along that front leg. Keep that front leg turning inwards from the little toe to the big toe. Okay, bring your hands back. Bring your hands back onto the seat of the chair, and then bend the front leg, step forward, and then come back into Tadasana at the other end of the mat. So parsvottanasana with a little bit of additional height is quite a joyful thing, I think. It really opens up the action of the legs, opens up the action of the hips. It really helps to broaden the lumbar spine. So reset. Feel how perhaps the body doesn't feel entirely level, because one side of the body feels perhaps more firmly activated than the other. Turn the right toes out slightly and then step forwards with the left leg, and then bring the hips level. Tighten the kneecaps of both legs. turn the fronts of the legs inwards like Tadasana. Lift the abdomen up to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, almost like you're doing a back bend. Wing the elbows towards each other. Keep the head lifted as you come forwards. Hands on the hips, hips feeling level. And then reach forwards towards the chair. At this stage, really work those legs. Beyond the fingertips. Lift from the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, to the chin. So just observe your legs. Observe the fronts of the thighs. Are they turning inwards? Especially that back leg. Is the chest lifted? Stretch towards the back end of the chair. Keep the spine long. And then, if you can, you slide the hands down the seat of the chair and find the floor. But if you can't find the floor, then stay on the seat of the chair or use blocks. At this stage, observe the levelness of your hips. Do they feel level? Do you need to adjust the position of the legs to accommodate levelness? If you can start to walk forwards, but walk your hands towards the back of the leg and lifting the chest, coming forwards. But just feel before you go there that there's levelness in the base of the pose. So work with conscious observation. Don't work from the ego. The ego just wants to go as far into the pose as it can, but the body has to feel ready. So read the physical body. Okay, walk your hands back. Bring your hands back onto the seat of the chair. Just feel that the hips are level again. Bend that front leg, step forward, and then come out of the pose. And then just come back into Tadasana. Leave the chair there for the minute. So parsvottanasana is the kind of base of parivrtta trikonasana. And we're going to do parivrtta trikonasana with the chair. It gives you much more space. So it's a good method just to kind of get that turn without kind of overworking it. So be in Tadasana. So feel that the feet are flat on the floor, that the insteps are lifted. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards in Tadasana. So the fronts of the thighs in Tadasana turn from the little toe to the big toe side. You feel that the backs of the thighs broaden outwards. When the legs are working like this, it's harder to clench the buttocks. Lift the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, to the chin. Just assess how level you feel today. Whether the body feels level and even. Or whether there is an innate imbalance that you just need to address as you come into the poses, as you work into your Tadasana. So just address internal imbalance of action. Because I can certainly feel it this morning. So we just address it. Turn the left toes out slightly, step forwards with that right leg, and then come forwards and find the seat of the chair. Stay on the fingertips. Activate the legs as you did in parsvottanasana, turning the fronts of the thighs inwards, keeping both legs really straight. Be on the fingertips on the chair and lift from the abdomen up to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, to the chin. So we're going to just stay on the seat of the chair, just giving us loads of space. Because in parivrtta trikonasana you have to lengthen the spine before you turn, and this just gives you loads of space. Bring your left hand over to the right hand side of the chair, so that the hand is kind of in line with the little toe side of the foot. Bring the right hand into the small of the back. And then before you try and turn, just use the moment to lengthen the spine, to keep the hips level. And then with an extended spine, turn the chest to the right side of the room. Lengthening into the spine. Just feel the freedom in being high up in the pose rather than being all the way down on the floor. Feel that you can really lengthen the spine, and that really accommodates the turn. Okay, come back to the center, step forwards, come out of the pose, and then we'll go back. Just reset ourselves in Tadasana. Just observe your internal balance of action. Work to bring levelness to the inside. Turn your right toes out slightly, step forwards deeply with that front leg, and then with the hips level, come forwards and find the seat of the chair. So at this stage, just adjust the legs. Sometimes it's better to just pick up that back heel and turn it out a little more. Tadasana-wise the fronts of the legs, turn them inwards. Keep the legs straight, especially that back leg. Extend from the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, to the chin. And then bring the right hand across so that it's in line with the little toe side of the foot. Bring the other hand into the small of the back. Before you try and turn, I want you to elevate the spine, lift the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, to the chin, and then turn to the left. Keeping the spine lifted and long. Lengthening out the spine. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Feeling the internal heat of the turn. Okay, coming back to the center. And then step your feet forwards and then just come back into Tadasana. Just come back into Tadasana, just inner edge of the feet together, tightening the kneecaps, turning the fronts of the legs inwards, tucking the tailbone in, drawing the belly button to the spine, drawing the lower ribs to the spine. Giving yourself space in the armpit chest and broadening the chest. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Okay, and then just come down onto the floor. Keep the chair where it is and just have the chair so that you can easily reach the front edge of the chair. And then roll over. Just move the buttock flesh and the backs of the calves out to the sides. Have the inner edge of the feet together. Now, if at this stage you kind of sink in your back, and you find it really difficult to roll onto the front edge of the seat bones and maintain your position there, then sit on a folded blanket or on a block. Activate your legs. Keep the kneecaps tight and turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Roll onto the front edge of the seat bones and elevate the heart area upwards. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Raise your arms up. Again, if you sink in the lower back, sit on something. Listen to the breath. Now, if you've got a bad back, you might just want to stay here. If you don't, then come forwards, lengthening forwards, lengthening forwards, keeping the arms lifted, keeping the head lifted, keeping the back straight. And then, as a really conscious action, bring your arms down, but keep the spine lifted. Bring the hands onto the tops of the chair. Press the palms into the chair. So use the palms of the hands on the chair to lift the abdomen up to the diaphragm. Keep the legs really firmly activated, pressing the kneecaps into the backs of the thighs. And then you can come forward a little more, stretching towards the back seat of the chair. Keep the backs of the legs down on the floor. Keep the fronts of the legs consciously pushing through to the backs of the legs. Now, if the chair feels like it's kind of a bit too close, then you can stretch it away a little bit. But again, we're just using the chair, because often in this pose we just round the back like this and you hurt your back. So we're using the chair to press down into, to keep the front chest really lifted and long. And then maybe you can reach around your feet. If you can't, then just stay on the chair. But if you reach around the feet, don't drop the head. Keep the abdomen lifted. Keep the extension of the spine that you had when your hands are on the chair. Keep the kneecaps tightened. You can keep coming forwards just a little bit at a time. Just be mindful of the impact on your lower back if you've got a sore back, or if you've got any problems with your back. Coming forwards into paschimottanasana. You can even reach around the feet. But I could easily now just drop my head down to the legs, but that is losing the extension. So you keep your head lifted, driving the head towards the feet, keeping the legs really deeply extending. Okay, and then bring yourself back to the center. And then just bring the legs into swastikasana for a moment. So just into cross legs, hold onto your knees. Feel that there's levelness at the seat bones and adjust if necessary. Lift up into the chest, elevating the heart area to the ceiling, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then gently turn to the right side, digging the back hand into the floor, lifting your heart area up into the chest. And then come back to the center, and then turn to the left, the other way. And then come back to the center. Just sit yourself back onto your chair. If you haven't got a chair, you can just do parsva swastikasana one more time. Just sit with your legs, so have the back of the chair facing the screen, and if your chair kind of is a bit of a slant, then just put a lift on the chair. Keep the feet firmly down on the floor and get a block and hold the block between your knees and squeeze the block between your knees, and then lift up into the chest. So have the feet together if you can, or they can be slightly apart if it's too strong on your back. Squeeze the block and then turn the chest to face the back of the chair. As you turn, try not to let the legs come with you. Let the legs reach towards the back of the room behind you. Turn the abdomen from the legs to the chair. Okay, and then come back to the centre. Just release the block for a moment, just observe your energy. And then just come onto the other side of the chair. Again with the, so just bring your knees onto the other side of the chair so that the seat of the chair is facing the other way. Grip the block between the knees, lift up into the spine. And just like we did in parivrtta, trikonasana, keep the spine lifted as you turn to the other way round. Lift up into the chest and turn. Keeping the spine long, like we did in parivrtta, trikonasana. Keeping the shoulders level as you turn. Okay, and then gently come back, just rest your legs for a moment. And then just bring the chair onto the mat close by. And then we're just going to sit close to the chair and then bring the legs up the chair. And then bring your back down onto the floor. So the legs are just going to stay on the seat of the chair, a little bit like a viparita karani type of shape, but the legs are a little softer than lengthening up to the ceiling. Just rest your hands on your lower ribs. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Listen to the breath. Just relaxing into the floor for a moment. You need to be able to see the screen for this, so I'll just show you. If you can just stay with your legs on the seat of the chair. Otherwise, I want you to reach towards the legs of the chair, the bottom legs of the chair, and then bring the heels of the feet onto the edge of the chair, and then gather your shoulder blades together. Just come up onto the shoulders, up onto the tops of the shoulders. So you're keeping hold of the seat of the chair, and you're coming right up onto the tops of the shoulders. Then you can bring your hands into the back, and then if it feels okay, you can lengthen your legs up to the ceiling for sarvangasana. So traditionally we would use blocks underneath your shoulders, but you need very specific blocks for that. So we can just stay in sarvangasana for a little while. Try and keep walking the hands up towards the lower ribs, towards the shoulders. Let's come down out of the pose. You bend your legs and then you find the seat of the chair. And then you reach your hands to the legs of the chair. And then you bring yourself back down. Just keep the legs onto the chair. So it's a very brief sarvangasana, but we didn't have the blocks underneath the shoulders. So just to keep the neck soft. Just come back down. So the chair is a really valuable bit of yoga equipment. Of course, it needs to be quite a strong chair. You need to be able to rely on it. So just allow the legs to stay on the seat of the chair. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Okay, just pull your knees in towards your chest, and then try not to bring the chair with you as you just roll onto your side. And then just straighten out the top leg, and then bring yourself up into a seated position. And from there, just get the folded blanket for your head. Just line yourself out in a good straight line. And then just allow yourself to release into the floor. Let the body completely relax. Let the arm and leg muscles unhook so that the body becomes heavy on the floor. And from that heaviness, observe a sensation of physical lightness radiating from the bones. Physical lightness radiating from the bones and into the muscles. Radiating from the bones and into the muscles and into the organs. Sending positive energy around the physical body. Use your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute that feeling of energetic lightness down into the toes and into the fingertips. And up into the top of the head. And then when you're ready, just gently wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers, bring yourself back into this pose of Shavasana. Bend your knees in towards your chest, have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, just a gentle massage on the spine. And then roll onto your right side, stay down for a breath or two. And then when you're ready, just straighten out the top leg. Bring yourself back up into a seated position, and then come into cross legs with your hands in the mat seat, just a final spinal lift. Bring your in-breath in through your nose down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice this morning, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Just spend a moment to seek, to acknowledge the positive energy you've created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then very gently release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the fingertips to the index finger together with the tip of the thumb. Just a gesture of wisdom, of physical intelligence and peacefulness that we can carry into our day as an intention. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel really nicely stretched out and ready to take on your day. So thank you very much for joining me.